Welcome to Xinhua Live. We are now in Taiyuan City, North China, Shanxi Province. This is a city with a long history, and today we are going to visit China's first thematic museum of Northern Qi Dynasty tomb murals. The Taiyuan Northern Qi Mural Museum was established in November 2009. It is located in Wangjiafeng Village, Yingze District, Taiyuan City. It covers an area of 20,000 square meters. Its most distinctive feature is that it is built on top of an ancient tomb and covers the entire mound of earth inside the exhibition hall. This tomb is called the Xu Xianxiu tomb of the Northern Qi Dynasty, 550 AD to 577 AD, and it was one of the top 10 archaeological discoveries of 2002 in China. The tomb chamber contains exquisite murals from more than 1,400 years ago, depicting the daily life of the Northern Qi noble Xu Xianxiu, as well as reflecting the characteristics of that era. They allow us to glimpse the ancient Chinese people's life from more than 1,400 years ago, and invite us to travel through time and space to experience their charm. Today we have invited Mr. Wang Jiang, the director of the Taiyuan Northern Qi Murals Museum, to give us a brief introduction of this museum. Hello, Mr. Wang. 您好，王先生。
你好。
您能给我们简单介绍一下这个博物馆的情况吗？
太原北齐壁画博物馆，它是依托北齐徐显秀墓原址建设完成的。它的建成呢，首先要想到我们23年前的一次它的发现。2000年12月初的一个清晨呢，一位当地的村民前去干农活的时候呢，看到这里有一个新翻出来的一些土堆，走近一看，发现一处约40公分的深洞，周围还散落的褥子、手套等物品。这时候，村民突然想起老人曾说过，这里有一个古代时候的墓葬，于是怀疑有人在这里进行盗墓活动。村民立即向相关部门汇报了这个情况。太原市考古研究所接到消息之后，随即派专家来到现场进行研究。专家进入墓葬内部，发现墓室四壁竟然是遍布完好的、场面恢宏、色彩斑斓的墓室壁画。后经图片分析研判，这座被盗掘的古墓当属北齐时代，具有重要的历史、科学和艺术价值。后来专家研讨后决定，在墓葬原址上进行抢救性发掘，在考古发掘的基础上，后期建立了现在的这座太原北齐壁画博物馆。
Okay, the Taiyuan Northern Qi Murals Museum was mainly established based on the tombs of Xu Xianxiu, a Northern Qi nobleman. The construction of the museum started from a tomb robbery activity 23 years ago. On a December morning in 2000, a local villager saw a pile of newly dug soil here on his way to do farm work. He walked in and found a deep hole about 40 centimeters wide, with quilts, gloves, and other items scattered around. At that time, the villager suddenly recalled that the elders in the village had said that there was a tomb of an ancient Chinese nobleman near the village. So he suspected that someone was robbing the tomb here. The villager immediately reported this situation to the relevant departments. After receiving the news, the Taiyuan Archaeological Institute sent experts to the scene. After entering the tomb, the experts found that the four walls of the tomb chamber was covered with well-preserved, magnificent and colorful murals. After analyzing the pictures, it turns out that this ancient tomb belonged to a Northern Qi era, 550 AD to 577 AD, and had important historical, scientific, and artistic value. Later, the experts decided to protect and excavate the tomb and built this Northern Qi Murals Museum at its original site. Building a museum on the original site is a new way for China to protect cultural heritage. Thanks to the timely discovery, this precious tomb did not suffer more damage. So what did we do in the protection and excavation of Xu Xianxiu's tomb? 咱们在这个徐显秀墓的保护发掘之中做了哪些工作呢？
徐显秀墓 当时发掘初期呢，就发现了这个墓道壁画没有地藏层，非常脆弱，并且伴随着各种的病害的同期发生。在这种情况下，在发掘的初期，我们就邀请了主要的专家学者进行现场的勘察和调研，在此基础上呢，进行详细的研究分析，制定出详尽的这个保护发掘方案。壁画保护的工作人员呢，提取了土壤、颜料和地藏层等标本做检测分析，开展加固材料的实验及选配，并在反复实验的基础上呢，筛选出了最适合于现场保护的材料，制定出清理加固的方案，全面开展了实施工作。在发掘过程中，采用科学的边发掘边保护的手段，有效保全了全部墓葬的壁画，为以后的原址保护奠定了详实的基础。同时，过程中以文物本体安全为核心，加强现场管控，借助科技手段加速文物的这个现场的复存、环境的治理，逐步调控到适合文物本体的恒温恒湿环境，最终实现徐显秀墓壁画原质原状保护长久的目标。
Okay, in the process of excavation, the experts found that the mural layer was extremely fragile, and there were also complicated diseases. For this reason, in the early stage of protection and cleaning, experts conducted on-site inspections and put forward protection suggestions. The mural protection team extracted soil, pigment, and gray skin samples for testing and analysis, carried out reinforcement material experiments and selection, and selected the most suitable protection materials and formulated cleaning and reinforcement plans based on repeated experiments. During the excavation process, scientific means of protection while excavating were adopted, which effectively preserved all the murals in the tomb and laid a foundation for the original site protection in the future. At the same time, in the process of excavation, with the safety of cultural relics as the core, strengthening on-site prevention and control using scientific and technological means to quickly stabilize the cultural relic environment, gradually adjusting to a constant temperature and humidity environment suitable for cultural relics, and finally achieving the goal of long-term original site preservation of Xu Xianxiu's mural tomb. Okay, Mr. Wang, thank you for introduction. 感谢您介绍王馆长。
感谢您的关注，期待更多的观众来关注太原北齐壁画博物馆。
Okay, let's continue to explore this museum. With the permission of related departments, we are fortunately get the opportunity to get into these tombs and to see the tomb murals very closely. And at the same time, we have to wear the masks and the shoe covers in order to protect the murals in the tombs. So let's put it up. Okay, let's go. Miss Wang, I feel very cold inside. Why it is cold here? 这里面为什么温度会比外面要低一些？
因为我们要对北齐武安王徐显秀墓进行一个原址保护，所以一定要对于他的墓葬壁画起到一个恒温恒湿的一个状态。
Okay, in order to protect the tombs, so we have to make the temperature and humidity here to stay at a stable state. 所以咱们这个过道两边也是有这个壁画的，是吗？
对，没错。咱们现在看到的就是墓道两侧绘有规模宏大且色彩艳丽的仪仗式位出行图。我们可以看到这一个壁画其价值意义在于，就是这一层壁画没有施地藏层保护，仅粉刷了一层厚度约为0.2毫米的白灰水便直接开始彩绘。那其次我们可以看到壁画内容中人物同真人般大小。那这不仅其实考验了画家对于人物造型的把握，并且也体现出画家在勾线填色之间的一个精准把握，堪称中国美术史上的一部杰作，代表了当时绘画的最高水平。
Yeah, we can see there are many wall paintings just along the road down to the tomb, and they are very exquisite. And I think it is very difficult to paint in the walls, just like down the earth. Okay, let's get into this door, and now we are in the inside part of the tomb. Well, it really looks amazing here. Can you introduce us to those wall paintings here? 您能给我们介绍一下这些壁画的内容吗？
好的，山西是人类和华夏文明最早发源地之一，国宝单位531处，数量稳居全国第一。在这里，我们见到这些精美的壁画，并不会感到意外。我们现在所处的位置就是墓室中央，在前方壁画正中间端坐的就是墓室的主人徐显秀夫妇。徐显秀是北齐时期的一位贵族，这些壁画记录了当时他的生活场景。正中间的是徐显秀和夫人宴饮的场景，左边是徐显秀出行。右边是他夫人出行。您看这些线条相当简洁，与色彩高度统一，可说当时的绘画技艺相当高超。这也是北齐时期非常流行的绘画风格，非常具有立体感和质感。
Okay, Shanxi is one of the earliest regions and center areas of human and China civilizations. Shanxi province, known as the province of cultural relics, has 531 national protected units, ranking first in the country. The brilliant culture of the Chinese nation for thousands of years has bloomed on this land. So we are not surprised to find these exquisite tomb murals here. The place where we are now is the center of the tomb chamber. The couple sitting in the middle of the mural in front of us are the owners of the tomb chamber, Xu Xianxiu and his wife. Xu Xianxiu was a nobleman in the Northern Qi period, and these murals record his life scenes at that time. In the middle is Xu Xianxiu and his wife having a feast. The left mural shows how Xu Xianxiu traveled, and the right is the way his wife did. You can see that these lines are very simple and highly consistent with the colors, which shows that the painting skills at that time were quite superb. This is also the popular painting style of the Northern Qi period, very three-dimensional and textured. Miss Wang, I noticed that some of the figures in the murals do not match the image of Chinese people very well. Are they foreigners? Was there any people-to-people exchange between China and the foreign countries at that time? 对了，我注意到了，咱们这个壁画里面有一些这个脸面孔，它不像是这个传统的汉族面孔。就在那个时候，咱们已经有这个中外交流的这个活动了吗？
是的，徐显秀墓中壁画还有它的随葬器物中，都大量的保存了异域文化色彩的图像元素，集中反映了北齐时期民族的多元性，以及晋阳地区和西域民族文化交融的深度和广度。例如，这个壁画中的人物，他就具有很明显的中西亚人的形象特征。满脸的络腮胡，眼窝较深。壁画中的牛和马也并不是汉人所常用的品种，这也是来自于西域。在一些侍女的服饰上，我们也可以看到连珠纹等西域元素。值得一提的是，在墓室东北部发现了一枚镶嵌蓝宝石的金戒指，戒指四周有连珠纹环绕，绒面上印刻着古希腊战神的图案，充满了异国情调。因出自中西亚甚至地中海地区，在绘画技艺上，我们也能发现中西方文化交流的痕迹。在这些壁画上，我们能够观察到糊画的技法运用。这种绘画与中国传统画法不同，是以胡桃油为调色剂作画，更近似于欧洲的油画。我们今天在阿富汗和塔吉克斯坦保存下来的绘画中，仍然可以看到。
Okay, 徐显秀's tomb murals and its accompanying burial objects preserved a large number of image elements with strong exotic culture, reflecting the diversity of northern Qi society and culture, as well as the depth and breadth of cultural integration between Xinhua area and western regions' ethnic groups during this period. For example, this figure in the mural has obvious features of Central Asian people and full beards and a deep eye socket. The cows and horses in the murals are also not the breeds commonly used by Han people, but from the western regions. We can also see some Western elements such as bead patterns on some maize clothes. It is worth mentioning that a gold ring inlaid with a sapphire was found in the northeast part of the tomb chamber. The ring was surrounded by bead patterns, and there was a pattern of Greek god of war on the ring face, full of exotic flavor. It should come from Central Asia or even the Mediterranean region. In terms of painting skills, we can also find traces of communication between China and the West. In these murals, we can observe the use of Hu painting technique, which is different from traditional Chinese painting. It is painted with a walnut oil as a colorant, which is more similar to European oil painting. We can still see this kind of painting preserved in Afghanistan and Tajikistan today. What is the significance of the discovery of Xu Xianxiu's tomb murals for China's archaeological work? 那么这个徐显秀的墓的发现对这个中国的考古工作有什么意义呢？
可以说徐显秀墓壁画的发现为我们研究北齐时期达官显贵的日常生活提供了不可多得的史料图像。徐显秀墓壁画基本内容为墓主夫妇的图像和日常生活，图像中体现了当时人们的衣着、饮食、出行、乐器、武器等多个方面的细节。这些珍贵的壁画为我们生动地展示了当时人们的生活情形，为我们了解古代中国人生活提供了重要的依据。同时，壁画上所展现的一些美术技艺也填补了中国美术史在某些方面的空白，为我们研究中国美术史提供了珍贵的资料。
The discovery of Xu Xianxiu's tomb murals is a rare image materials for us to understand the daily social life of officials and nobles in the Northern Qi period. The basic content of Xu Xianxiu's tomb murals is the portrait and daily life of the tomb owner and his wife. The portraits reflect the details of people's clothing, food, travel, music instruments, weapons, and other aspects at that time. These precious murals vividly show us the living conditions of people at that time and provide important evidence for us to understand the life of ancient Chinese people. At the same time, some artistic skills shown in the murals also fill in some blanks in Chinese art history and provide important materials for us to study Chinese art history. Okay, Ms. Wang, thank you for introduction. Let's continue to explore this museum. 感谢您介绍，那我们先出去吧。Okay, this is really an amazing experience for me. Before today, I have no idea how the northern Qi people live. How did they just go out for travel, or just what did they eat? With the help of the guides and the director Wang, I just know more about the people in the northern Qi period, and now I see those two murals in person and so closely. I was really shocked by the artistic skills and their daily life scenes. After the completion of Taiyuan Northern Qi Murals Museum, a lot of digital technologies have been used in the museum to better protect and present the cultural relics. This greatly enhances the fun and the interactivity of the visit. You can see that we can plug the string here, and the virtual characters on the wall painting will make sounds. If you can play the pipa, an ancient instrument, you can totally make the maid on the screen play a tune. This is really a great experience. But what's more wonderful is to use metaverse technologies to immerse yourself in the virtual museum and enter Xu Xianxiu's tomb chamber. You have to know that for protection reasons, visitors cannot enter the real tomb chamber unless there are special circumstances. The use of metaverse technology largely makes up for this regret. Next to me is Wen Tao, the person in charge of digital technology at the Northern Qi Murals Museum. Let's learn the digital museum program with him. 您好，这个文涛先生，您给我们简单介绍一下这个数字博物馆的情况吧。
您好，其实近年来呢，很多博物馆已经开始了探索馆藏文物和传统文化在适应数字时代一个价值的传递和传承的新方式。那么传统文化与数字技术拥抱在了一起，博物馆的玩法呢也就变得越来越多。
Okay, in recent years, the major museums have been exploring new ways of value transmission and inheritance of museum collections, and traditional culture that adapt to the digital age. When traditional culture embraces digital technology, there are more and more ways to play in museums. So, Mr. Wen, can I try the digital museum program here? 就是我可以尝试一下咱们这个馆里面的一些技术。
可以，请这边。您可以先戴上这个我们的 VR 眼镜。
Okay, this is metaverse technology here.
好，您戴上眼镜可以拿上手柄。
And yeah, I hold this.
好，您可以看到，您可以看到底下的箭头跟着它走。
So I need to move forward. That's really an amazing experience, and thank you, Mr. Wen. Thank you for your introduction. 感谢您的介绍，谢谢。Okay, let's move forward. Today we have invited Secretary Liu of the Taiyuan Cultural Heritage Bureau to answer this question for us. 那个刘书记您好，您能给我们简单介绍一下，就是咱们是怎么在保护文物的同时又发挥这个文物的作用的吗？
中国对文物保护是非常重视的，国家出台了非常多的各方面的文物保护的法律和法规，促进文物的保护和发展。北极壁画馆的建成， 就是对文物进行原址保护的一种尝试，是在城市更新中传承历史文脉。我们围绕着虚线绣木建成博物馆了，在对珍贵文物进行保护的同时，也在积极推动文物服务大众、服务社会的功能。首先，我们通过科学的保护方式维持墓葬的良好状态，运用数字技术来让人们全方位地了解这座墓葬中蕴藏的中国文化。同时呢，我们也持续推进文物进校园的活动，让更多中小学生了解文物里的中华优秀传统文化，从小了培养孩子们的文化认同感和文化自信。我们也积极地和高校进行合作，成立科研教学实践基地，强化文物保护力量，让更多的青年人加入到文物保护的队伍，让文物更好地活起来。
Okay, China has attached a lot of importance to the protection of the cultural relics, and the country has also issued a lot of laws and regulations to promote the protection and development of cultural relics from various aspects. The construction of the Northern Qi Murals Museum is an attempt to protect the cultural relics on the original site. We built the museum around Xu Xianxiu's tomb, and while protecting the precious cultural relics, we are also actively promoting the function of cultural relics serving the public and society. First of all, we maintain the good condition of the tomb by scientific protection methods and use digital technologies to let people understand the Chinese culture contained in this tomb from all aspects. At the same time, we also continue to promote the activities of bringing cultural relics into campuses, letting more primary and secondary school students understand the excellent traditional Chinese culture in cultural relics, and cultivate children's sense of cultural identity and confidence from an early age. We also actively cooperate with universities, establish scientific research, teaching and practice bases, strengthen the protection of cultural relics, and let more young people join the team of cultural relic protection. Okay, Secretary Liu, thank you for sharing. 感谢您的分享。
欢迎大家常来北齐虚线绣博物馆参观，谢谢。
Okay, thank you, and we welcome all the friends come to the Northern Qi Murals Museum to explore this ancient China here. Today, by entering the Chinese ancient tombs from more than 1,400 years ago and watching the exquisite tomb murals, we have seen what the Chinese ancient people's life were like. But these wall paintings are only one type of cultural heritage left on the Chinese land with a history of thousands of years. China has 9.6 million square kilometers of land area, and there are various kinds of ancient sites waiting for us to visit. Welcome all foreign friends to China to explore its unique history and culture. That's all for today's Xinhua Live. Thank you for watching and see you next time.